Hello, everybody. Uh-oh, have I frozen? No, I don't think so. Not sure what that was all about. Please let me know if you can hear me and see me. Let me make sure that everything's working before I do a bunch of songs. I see that there's like 10 or 12 people here, but nobody's writing in the comments yet except, oh, there we go. Good. Hi, Sam. All right. And hello to you from Greece. I'm not sure how to say your name, but thank you very much. Hi, Lee. Hi, Matt. Cool. Hey, Ted. All right. I like it when Ted shows up because then I can think of this as a TED Talk. Catherine. Okay. That's a beautiful spelling in your native language. Thank you for being here, Catherine. I have a dear friend from Lithuania whose American name is Catherine, but it is spelled Katrina, where she's from, K-O-T-R-Y-N-A. Okay, guys. Well, today is... First of all, I'm used to doing this show with my friend Kevin Lawrence, who will often still join me, by the way. I'm not cutting him out of this. I wanted a platform to do something a little different than what I do on Sundays. I still want to play a lot of great songs, but I wanted to be able to focus in on either a specific songwriter or a specific genre or something, but some kind of a theme, and bring songs that I'd prepared and tell stories. Something a little more like a podcast or a little radio show. And Kevin is just so busy because he's a dad and more of a real adult than I am, and so his schedule is much more spotty as to how often he can do this. And I said, well, I'd really like to do it every week if I can. Do you mind if I just use our name and do it, and then you join me whenever you're free? And he said, no, that'd be great. Do it. Maybe I'll play more often if I just know that it's happening every week. So don't know how often to expect him yet, but he is grandfathered in as a co-creator of this show, so I would say he'll bop in periodically for sure. And I will use this as a platform. I don't know if you guys realize this about me, but I'm much less about the piano and much more about great songs. The piano is my tool for bringing great songs to life. That's why I learned how to play it. It's why I teach it. And my whole focus is on making great songs come to life and letting people be in the middle of it. And the thing that I love about great songs is that great songs do not require a lot of production. You can put a lot of production, and a lot of these songs did have a lot of production. Everything from, rhythm sections like bass and drums and guitars all the way up to symphony orchestras and horn lines and choirs and all kinds of stuff. But if it's a good enough song, you can condense it down to one instrument and one voice, and that song will carry the day. And so I am here to celebrate great songs and great songwriters, because that's what I aspire to be more than anything else. More than anything else, what I would love to be is a guy who accumulates an enormous catalog of great songs before I die. So today's topic is going to be somebody who I learned about on accident and have been sort of blown away by Barry Mann is his name. He has written songs that I promise you love, even if you've never heard his name. And we're going to talk about some of them today. Barry Mann has been a prolific songwriter since 1959. He was born in 1939, so he's 86 now. He was married to another phenomenal songwriter named Cynthia Weil, who passed in 2023, but they were married in 1961, and they were a songwriting team. And they didn't always write together, but they wrote the lion's share of their best material together. They made great and incredible music together for over 60 years. So that's a life goal that I'm already too old to achieve, but incredible. 98 of his songs charted on the Billboard Hot 100 here in America. 98 of his songs. And over 50 of his songs charted on the UK singles chart. And what I'm going to play for you today is just a very small sampling of some of the very best known. But we're going to start with a massive hit that I know every single one of you is familiar with. It came out in 1964 by a little group called the Righteous Brothers. He wrote this with his wife Cynthia and a young up-and-coming producer who had just made kind of a dent in the universe with a song by his own wife, Ronnie Spector, and the Ronettes, called Be My Baby. And he was bringing this new concept called a wall of sound to the world. And this song was co-written by Barry Mann, Cynthia Weil, and Phil Spector. It was cut by the Righteous Brothers. It was a #1 hit in both the United States and the United Kingdom. And it has entered the United Kingdom top 10 3 different times throughout the years. It's been widely covered by lots of artists over many decades. And just as a little bonus, it is the most listened to recording of the 20th century. So this song's kind of gotten around. It's done pretty well. And first time I ever heard it was in 1986 when I put on a movie that was pretty hot at the time called Top Gun. Not the only song in Top Gun for sure, but played kind of a prominent role at one point when all of the guys were... when all of the fighter pilots were trying to pick up women at the bar. So let's see if you've heard this before. This is our first one by the great Barry Mann. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. There's no tenderness like before in your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby. But baby, I know it. You've lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Oh, oh, oh. There's no welcome look in your eyes when I reach for you. And now you're starting to criticize the things I do. It makes me just feel like crying, baby. 'Cause baby, something beautiful's dying. You've lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. Baby, I get down on my knees for you. If you would only love me like you used to do, yeah. We had a love you don't find every day. So don't let it slip away. Baby, say baby, I beg of you please, please, I need your love, I need your love. Bring it on back, yeah, bring it on back, back, baby. Bring back that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. Bring back that love and feeling, 'cause it's gone, gone, gone. Whoa, bring back that love and feeling. Whoa, that love and feeling. Bring back that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. And I can't go on. Whoa. You've lost that love and feeling. Oh, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. And I can't go on. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So, I love that song. That's one of those tunes that's like so baked into the culture now. It's like you kind of forget somebody actually had to write it and record it. Like I'm trying to imagine the world before that one existed. That's going to go down with like Cole Porter songs and stuff from the 30s. Anyway, carrying on here. So as I mentioned, Barry Mann had quite a number of hits, and we're just going to be doing a handful of them. But that one was from 1964, massive, probably the biggest success he ever had, although most of his were pretty successful. But in 1963, he and his wife wrote they wrote a song that was kind of an upbeat thing, had an upbeat lyric and had a shuffle beat to it, and they liked it, and it was cut by a couple of groups. One was called the Cookies, and one was called the Crystals. But another really, really like iconic songwriting partnership called Lieber and Stoller, who'd written they wrote a bunch of like R&B and like rock and roll, but like R&B hits, which is weird. They wrote a lot of songs that were very, very soulful and made famous by primarily black artists, but it was a couple of white Jewish guys from New York. So this goes to show you that like we've all got something in us, right? You know, and these guys were on a roll, and they also wrote a bunch of famous Broadway songs. So Lieber and Stoller will probably get their own show at some point. But they'd been having a lot of success with groups like the Coasters and the Drifters and the Platters, people like that. And they knew that the Drifters had some recording studio time, a session booked one morning, but they were short one song. So they didn't have anything to go in and record, but they already had the time booked. So he called up his friend, Barry Mann, and they called up their friend, Barry Mann, and they said, do you have anything? And they sent over a demo of this song, and they liked it, but what Lieber and Stoller thought was, the lyrics aren't quite right for the Drifters, but I kind of like this concept. So they invited Barry and Cynthia to come hang out, and they spent all night the night before this recording session reworking this song, and they turned it into, from an upbeat thing about someone kind of crushing it on Broadway to somebody struggling to make it in New York. And on top of that, they changed the beat from a shuffle beat to kind of a typical rock and roll beat. Well, what they ended up with was something that hit number 9 in the U.S. for the Drifters. And then in 1978, George Benson did a cover of it, and that hit number 7. And it also did really well on the soul chart, went to number 2 there, and it got a bunch of play on adult contemporary stations and smooth jazz stations. And the original Drifters version got put into the Grammy Hall of Fame. So I think you'll probably be familiar with this song. If not for the Drifters original, then the George Benson cover from 1978. It's just kind of one of those standards. And it all started with Barry Mann and his beautiful wife, Cynthia Weil. They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. But when you're walking down the street and you ain't had enough to eat, the glitter rubs right off and you're nowhere. They say the women treat you fine on Broadway, but looking at them just gives me the blues. 'Cause how you gonna make some time when all you got is one thin dime, and one thin dime won't even shine your shoes. They say that I won't last too long on Broadway. I'll catch a Greyhound bus for home, they say. But they're dead wrong, I know they are, 'cause I can play this here guitar, and I won't quit until I'm a star on Broadway. Say I quit 'cause I can play this here guitar, and I won't quit until I'm a star on Broadway. Well, I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. No, I won't quit until I'm a star on Broadway. All right. We're going to jump back to the Righteous Brothers here, and then we're going to move forward in time a little bit because this guy had hits in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. But I would be remiss if I left out this one. This is also one of the great songs of all time. So, the Righteous Brothers had that massive success with Love and Feelin', and this song was not quite finished yet. And Phil Spector thought, I don't think, we don't want this yet. And they kind of felt like it sounded a little too much like You've Lost That Love and Feelin'. So they had the Righteous Brothers cut a different song, and this kind of sat unfinished. But the shell of it was certainly already composed with by Cynthia and Barry. And at some point, the Righteous Brothers left Phil Spector's record company, and they signed in a different place. And Bill Medley, the two singers, he was the baritone, and he wanted to produce the next album himself. So he went to Barry Mann and he said, "We want this song. You played it for us before. Finish it and give it to us." So they sat down and they finished the song and they handed it over to him. And Bill Medley imitated Phil Spector's wall of sound production techniques. So it sounds very much like it's a Phil Spector produced song, but it's not. And this was a big follow-up hit for them. Hit number 1 in the U.S., and it hit number 15 in the United Kingdom. And it's one of their 3 or 4 most well-known pieces of music. And I think, for me, this one's my very favorite one that they ever did. Let me see, what key do I want to do this in? Right. So this is my favorite Righteous Brothers tune, and once again, I can thank the great Barry Mann for this song. Girl, I can't let you do this, let you walk away. Girl, how can I live through this when you're all I wake up for each day, baby? You're my soul and my heart's inspiration. You're all I've got to get me by. You're my soul and my heart's inspiration. Without you, baby, what good am I? What good am I? I never had too much going, but at least I had you. How can you walk out knowing I ain't got nothing left if you do, baby? You're my soul and my heart's inspiration. You're all I've got to get me by. You're my soul and my heart's inspiration. Without you, baby, what good am I? What good am I? Baby, I can't make it without you. And I'm telling you, honey, you're my reason for laughing, for crying, for living and for dying. Baby, I can't make it without you. Please, I'm begging you, baby. I? What good am I? All right. How's everybody doing today, by the way? Well, that's a very nice thing for you to say, Lazi. Hey, Silvio, joining us from Romania. Esteem 8R. Well, thank you very much. PPC. PPC. Great. I love the way you're writing great. That's fantastic. Okay. So carrying on now, we're going to move out of the 1960s. Going to jump into the 1970s. There's a young man named Dan Hill who in what was it here? In 1977, Dan Hill had a couple of hits in Canada where he was from, but wasn't really breaking through in the U.S. He was a young singer-songwriter. And he had this song that he'd written when he was 19. He was trying to convince this woman to commit to him, which, by the way, failed. She ran off to America with a retired football player. So the way the song was written wasn't quite good enough to pull it off. But he hadn't really broken out in America, and it was suggested that the reason why it wasn't punching through in America yet was that his melodies weren't quite catchy enough. So they suggested, why don't you do a collaboration with Barry Mann and see if that, produces some good fruit. So he has this meeting with Barry Mann, and he presents the words to him. He was a little nervous. Dan Hills tells the story. He says, this guy is one of the most iconic writers in the world already, and I didn't want him to be insulted by me bringing a song that had been rejected. So he lied, and he said, here's the words. It's just a poem. I haven't ever written a melody to it, even though he had written a melody to it, and it just hadn't gone anywhere. Within one day, Barry Mann had taken these words, and he'd completely restructured. He'd written a new melody, and he kind of restructured the format of the song, which then forced Dan Hill to write more words to the song to accommodate the new format, the new form that it was set up in. And wouldn't you know it, what they came up with together that day hit number 3 in the U.S., broke Dan Hill out into the zeitgeist, hit number 1 in Canada, and it hit number 13 in the United Kingdom. So everything about it worked out pretty darn well. And produced a very iconic song that I suspect you'll be familiar with. And it's called Sometimes When We Touch. Ask me if I love you, and I choke on my reply. I'd rather hurt you honestly than mislead you with a lie. Who am I to judge you on what you say or do? I'm only just beginning. See the real you. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much, and I have to close my eyes and cry. Wanna hold you till I die, till we both just need to hide. I wanna hold you till violence and all its strategy leaves me battling with my pride. Through the insecurity, some tenderness survives. I'm just another rider, still trapped within my truth. A hesitant prize fighter, still trapped within my youth. Well, sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. At times I'd like to break you and drive you to your knees. At times I'd like to break through and hold you endlessly. At times I understand you, and I know how hard you've tried. I've watched while love commands you, and I've watched love pass you by. At times I think we're drifters, still searching for a friend, a brother or a sister, and the passion flares again. And sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, and I have to close my eyes and hide. I wanna hold you till I die, till we both break down and cry. I wanna hold you till the fear in me subsides. All right. Thank you. Hey, Robin. Well, thank you very much for the lead. I think Diane Warren's going to end up getting like several shows because there's no way to cover all of just her famous ones in one show. Okay. So then the next one I want to do is also from the 1970s. This is from 1977. And what I love is, you know, this is what's great about a great, great song. Great songs don't have genres. Great songs are just great songs. And then production, how you arrange them, the way somebody sings it, the instrumentation that you use. That's what makes it rock or country or pop or bluesy. I mean, I suppose you could kind of do that in the writing, but to be honest, it's not very good writing. Good writing is to make something that's so universally good that different people can interpret it different ways and make it into the kind of song that their audience most wants to hear. And so here's this guy who had success with the Righteous Brothers and the Drifters and a bunch of R&B groups and stuff in the 50s and 60s. And this one was recorded by Dolly Parton. Turned into a big hit by Dolly Parton in 1977. which is strange because Dolly Parton is a brilliant songwriter, someone who I'll probably pay homage to in this show at some point. So it's pretty rare for her to be recording a song, let alone releasing a single of a song that she hopes to have a hit with that wasn't her own composition. But she did with this, and let me see, what are my stats on this one? She hit number 1 on the country charts in 1977, and it crossed over and hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, so on the pop chart. And originally, Barry and his wife Cynthia wrote this thinking that it would be a great one for Brenda Lee to have a comeback with. But she declined to record it, and Dolly Parton jumped on it and made it her own. And I've always loved this one, and I had no idea that Dolly Parton didn't write it herself until I started researching for this show. So here we go. Come again, just when I've begun to get myself together. Waltz right in the door, just like you've done before, and wrap my heart around your little finger. Here you come again, just when I'm about to make it work without you. You look into my eyes, lie those pretty lies, and pretty soon I'm wondering how I came to doubt you. All you gotta do, smile that smile, and there goes all my defenses, and there goes all my defenses. Leave it up to you, and in a little while, you're messing up my mind, my senses. Here you come again, looking better than a body has a right to. Shaking me up so that all I really know is here you come again. And here I go. Every time. All you gotta do is smile and smile, and there go all my defenses. Leaving up to you, and in a little while, you're messing up my mind, you're filling up my senses. Here you come again, looking better than a body has a right to. Shaking me up so all I really know is here you come again. And here I go. 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 Sorry, that one's got some tricky chords, and I forgot how they went. Okay, gosh. Now, this one is my very favorite song that he's written, and it's the reason that I learned who the guy is, because I did a cover of this song for YouTube last year, and I just kind of wanted to get to know the origin of the song a little bit, and I'd always known it as a duet between Linda Ronstadt and Aaron Neville. And as I started looking into it, I learned that it was written by Barry Mann with his wife Cynthia, of course, and another fellow named Tony Snow. And the first person who recorded it was actually Barry Mann in 1980 himself. And he actually was able to get, like, it charted on the Billboard Hot 100, but like way down low, like number 86 or something. And then a year later, his old friend Bill Medley of the Righteous Brothers was doing a solo album. And he recorded it in 1981. And again, it charted on the Billboard Hot 100, but it was way, way low. It was like in the high 60s or something like that. But it did manage to crack the top 30 on what they call the Adult Contemporary chart. And the Adult Contemporary chart is kind of easy listening pop music. And so it got a little bit of radio play. It wasn't huge, but I think it hit number 29 on the AC chart. And then Bette Midler cut it in 1983, and once again had a charted hit on the Billboard Hot 100, but it was like number 75 or something. So it didn't really make huge impact. Then in 1989, Linda Ronstadt was making an amazing album that was called, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to look it up quick because I want to say it correct. Where you at? Okay. Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like the Wind. And she had a number of, so the album is called Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like the Wind. And she had a number of collaborations, duets with this Aaron Neville guy who was already regionally famous in the South for being part of this amazing group. Somewhere between jazz and blues and just like really cool kind of New Orleans sound, the Neville Brothers. And she had been just a crazy fan of his voice, and she introduced herself at a jazz festival down there and said, I'd love to do a song with you sometime. And the opportunity came, and she brought him in, and this made him a star overnight. This song hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Number 2 on the United Kingdom singles chart, and number 1 on our Adult Contemporary chart here, and it won the Grammy that year for the best pop performance by a duo. Should 100% check out the video of those two singing this incredible song at the Grammy Awards. It's on YouTube. Look it up. It gives me chills every time. But it all started with this amazing melody and this amazing lyric by Barry Mann and his wife Cynthia and Tony Snow. And I'm going to play it for you now. It's the way it sounded when it was just them in Barry's apartment. But I probably ought to have words, don't you think? I have a lot of moving parts tonight. I put these notes together so I could make sure I told you all the factoids that I wanted to. By the way, if you guys like this kind of goofy trivia about songs, go to pianomanaapproach.com. Again, pianomanaapproach.com. Check out my blog, my daily blog. Every day I put out a blog post about a new song, talk about it, reveal this kind of stuff, talk about what the song means to me, what it makes me think about, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a daily occurrence, and then I'll be doing that, weekly in the form of this show on Wednesdays, and of course I put out new YouTube performances every day as well. And of course we'll keep doing our by request driven shows on Sundays too. So anyway, think of Piano Man Steve as sort of central station for appreciating the great songs of all time that have been written. All right, here we go. Look at this face, I know the years are showing. Look at this life, still don't know where it's going. I don't know much, but I know I love you. all I need to know. Look at these eyes, they've never seen what matters. Look at these dreams, so beaten and so battered. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. So many questions still left unanswered. So much I've never broken through. And when I feel you near me, sometimes I see so clearly the only truth I've ever known is me and you. Look at this man, so blessed with inspiration. Look at this soul, still searching for salvation. I don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be all I need to know. I don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be all I need to know. Oh, I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all there is to know. All right. One of my all-time favorite songs. Okay. I have one more I'm going to do for you, and then I will entertain some requests if you like, just to fill out a little extra time, have a little conversation with y'all. But as long as we're talking about Linda Ronstadt, there was a song out there called, or there was a movie, an animated feature that came out in 1986 that was called American Tail, T-A-I-L. It's about a mouse, I think. I don't know. I don't think I've seen it. But Barry Mann and his wife, of course, the great Cynthia Weil, sat down with the late, great film score composer / songwriter James Horner. And they wrote this, and it was playing during the end credits of this, and it became a top 10 hit in the U.S., the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Canada. And it was a duet between Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. Just pulling up the lyrics right now. Okay, so this song, as I said, is Linda Ronstadt, James Ingram, 1986, and it's called Somewhere Out There. Somewhere out there, beneath the pale moonlight, someone's thinking of me, loving me tonight. Somewhere out there, someone's saying a prayer that we'll find one another in that big somewhere out there. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star. When the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together. Somewhere out there, out where dreams come true. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star. And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together. Somewhere out there, out where dreams come true. Somewhere out there, out where dreams come true. All right, well, thank you for joining me in this little exploration and celebration of the great Barry Mann. What do you guys want to hear? What's on your minds? If I know it, I'll play it. Just stick around here for another half hour or so and engage with your fancies. What are your favorite songs? What are you thinking about? Thank you, Ruth. There will be no shortage of people to check out, so I'm glad to add this one to the list. I especially want to check out women songwriters and expand my palette a bit. Yes. You know what? And I just didn't have time to learn that one properly and do it justice, Ted, but that's a great song. So I dropped the ball on that one a little bit, but maybe I'll learn it, and maybe it'll come up as a request sometime on Sundays. Bee Gees. All right. Absolutely. This train don't stop there anymore. All right. Guys, if you have any other requests, just stick them down there. Bill, you'll have to catch the main feature. We did a feature on Barry Mann tonight. But now I'm just going to take a few requests to finish out, another half hour or so. But yeah, you can check the replay out. All right, so this one's by Elton. This is for our friend Silviu in Romania. This is by Elton John and came out in 2001 on my favorite album post-1990 of his. The album was called Songs from the West Coast because he recorded it in L.A. And it's called This Train Don't Stop There Anymore.
Believe it, but I don't believe in miracles anymore. And when I think about it, I don't believe I ever did for sure. All the things I said in songs, all the purple prose you bought from me, reality is just black and white. The sentimental things I'd write never meant that much to me. I used to be the Main Express, while steam and whistles heading west, picking up my pain from door to door, riding on the storyline, furnace burning overtime. This train don't stop. This train don't stop. This train don't stop there anymore. You may not need to hear it, but I'm dried up and sick to death of love. And if you need to know it, I never really understood that stuff. All the stars and bleeding hearts, all the tears that welled up in my eyes, never meant a thing to me. Read them as they say and weep, never felt enough to cry. I used to be the Main Express, while steam and whistles heading west, picking up my pain from door to door, riding on the storyline and furnace burning overtime. But this train don't stop. This train don't stop. This train don't stop there anymore. When I say that I don't care, really means my engine's breaking down. A chisel chips a heart. The chisel chips my heart again. The granite cracks beneath my skin, crumbling to pieces on the ground. Used to be the main express, all steam and whistles heading west, picking up my pain from door to door, riding on the storyline, burners burning overtime. But this train don't stop. This train don't stop. This train don't stop there anymore. And this train don't stop. This train don't stop. This train don't stop there anymore.
Ted, I would have no problem playing that one for you. I just haven't heard it enough times to get any farther than take this job and shove it. I can't take it anymore. And then I don't remember how the rest of it goes. So it's the only reason I'm not playing it is because I don't know it. But I'd have absolutely no issue fitting that one into this show. But I will play Unchained Melody for sure. Jan wants to hear a little Elvis. Okay. Bee Gees. Okay, let's see here. There's so many different directions I could go with the Bee Gees. So, last night, this is a timely request. This is kind of silly, a silly thing that I do to myself. But in the process of trying to write songs, sometimes what I need is to get into the headspace of the song I'm trying to write. And I haven't written a particularly sad song in a long time. And I thought, well, I should at least try it. I should see if I feel inspired to anything. And so last night I let myself go to some very, very dark thoughts. I'm not sure it was that wise, to be honest with you. I can think. Okay. Anyway, all kinds of places that they're things that probably will happen at some point, but I let myself kind of live through about 5 major tragedies all at once last night and really got into detail. Had myself shedding some crocodile tears. It was intense, and I was listening to this song while I was doing it. And of course, I walked away with zero inspiration. I just put myself through a ridiculous emotional exercise for no reason. I don't know. Maybe something will come to me later on and I can track it back to that. But anyway, this was a #1 hit for the Bee Gees before the disco craze happened.
I can think of younger days when living for my life was everything a man could want to do. I could never see tomorrow. I was never told about the sorrow. And how can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. Na na na. I can still feel the breeze that rustles through the trees and misty memories of days gone by. We could never see tomorrow. No one said a word about the sorrow. And how can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. La 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 la. Please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. Na 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 da 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 da.
All right, we may do another Bee Gees one before it's all said and done, but give us a little Elvis, okay. So much to choose from with Elvis. So many good ones to choose from. I haven't done this one in a spell. Let's see. Let me find the right key here. Okay, let's see. We're going to do some vintage Elvis.
Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down the end of Lonely Street. It's Heartbreak Hotel. Yeah, I get so lonely, baby. I'm so lonely. I'll be so lonely I could die. Although it's is crowded, you still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom. They've been so lonely, baby. They get so lonely. They get so lonely they could die. All right. Tears are flowing, and the desk clerk's dressed in black. Then they belong on lonely street. They're never looking back. Yeah, they get so lonely. They get so lonely. They get so lonely they could die. Now, if your baby leaves you and you got a tale to tell, just take a walk down lonely street. It's Heartbreak Hotel, yeah, yeah. You'll be lonely, baby. You'll be lonely. You'll be so lonely you could die. Though it's always crowded, still can find some room for broken-hearted lovers to cry there in the gloom. So lonely, baby. They get so lonely. They get so lonely they could die. They get so lonely they could die. They get so lonely they could die.
Billy Joel, turn the lights back on. Well, thank you very much, first of all. I appreciate the compliment. That song has become very important to me. That one introduced me to some new and very important friends. I wasn't even excited for this song to come out, actually. I mean, I was, but I was pretty nervous, actually. Billy hadn't put anything out in a long time, and I was like, it'd be one thing if you'd have just stayed on the train and kept making albums, even if they weren't selling and all of that, but you stopped. And so now I'm afraid you're going to tarnish your legacy. And so I was very nervous, and the day that it dropped was February 1st. And Kevin Lawrence, my good friend, was also super excited because he's a Billy Joel nut too, and he was texting me the day before going, "Oh my God, you're gonna wait until midnight so you can hear the new song?" And I said, "No, man, I'm just gonna go to bed. And he's like, "I can't believe you. You're a terrible Billy Joel fan." The next day I woke up, it was about 7 a.m., and I thought, well, I probably ought to listen to this. And then immediately I see a text from Kevin. He's like, "I've listened to it 100 times already. It's fantastic. You got to check it out. Here's the link." Quit being a dumbass. So I listened and I loved the song. But I thought, well, I'm not going to try and do a cover today. That's too much work, be too much stress. Another friend of mine named Mandy said, "You are an idiot. Make a cover today. It will get lots and lots of views. You're already well known in YouTube circles for being a Billy Joel guy, but the algorithm is loaded with people searching that song today. Make a cover and drop it before the end of the day. And so quit being lazy and quit being stupid. So I did, and I was pissed off at both Kevin and her because they made me do things. But I thank them both because that song kind of, for me, I mean, it wasn't huge in the scope of YouTube, but it had 10,000 views by the end of the day. It had 30,000 views by the end of the weekend, and it's it's probably around 50,000 now. But more importantly, because it made such a splash so quickly, it got on the radar of some new people that wouldn't have found me any other way, and one became a good friend, and he's a sports writer for Notre Dame, so I've gotten to go see the Fighting Irish play football, and I wrote a jingle for his podcast, and lots of fun things came about, and the other became a very special friend. It's changed my life in many ways, and so this song's important to me. Happy to play it, and I'm really glad I got the little push to make this cover.
Please open the door. Nothing is different. We've been here before. Pacing these halls, trying to talk over the silence. And pride sticks out his tongue, laughs at the portrait that we have become. Stuck in a frame, unable to change. I was wrong. Well, I'm late, but I'm here right now. Though I used to be romantic, I forgot somehow. Time can make you blind, but I see you now. 'Cause when laying in the darkness, did I wait too long to turn the lights back on? Here, stuck on a hill, outsiders inside the home that we built. The cold settles in. It's been a long winter of indifference. Maybe you love me, maybe you don't. Maybe you'll learn to, and maybe you won't. You've had enough, but I won't give up on you. Well, I'm late, but I'm here right now. I'm trying to find the magic that we lost somehow. Maybe I was blind, but I see you now. 'Cause we're laying in the darkness. Did I wait too long to turn the lights back on? I'm late, but I'm here right now. Is there still time for forgiveness? Won't you tell me how? I can't read your mind, but I see you now. So we're laying in the darkness. Did I wait too long to turn the lights back on? I'm here right now. Yes, I'm here right now. I'm looking for forgiveness. I can see as we're laying in the darkness. We're laying in the darkness.
All right, here's one for our friend Ted.
So slowly, and time will do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. Flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me.
Okay. I'm probably about the point where I normally am going to want to bring. Sometimes I might go all the way for 2 hours, but a lot of times I'm going to try to hold this one to about 90 minutes. So I'm going to do one more song. This one's Dealer's Choice. I was just thinking about this one. I was telling a friend about an old memory that I was feeling very fond of. Okay, anyway. I was telling an old friend a memory of, I used to do, goodness, easily 100, quite often 120 to 150 shows a year in 120 or 150 different locations. So that meant I had 150 or 120 to 150 setups and teardowns, which was pretty brutal, but I did a lot of that with my good friend Glennis Jones on guitar. And we played everything. We played street dances, and we played weddings, and we played Chamber of Commerce galas, and we played big fundraisers for nonprofits, and we played private parties and block parties, and oh, you name it. We played at a sports bar every week. We played some casino lounges. We played anything and everywhere that we could play. And we got asked to do a wedding by a couple that found each other later in life. They were both in their early 60s, and they had both had very traumatic experiences in their previous marriages. And they're both very gentle souls, like two of the nicest people that you could ever meet. And they found each other, and they were just, he was like 63 and she was 61, and it's like they had found a new lease on life, and they were just absolutely smitten with each other, and they just couldn't believe their good fortune to have fallen in love with somebody so nice after the grouchy, mean ugliness of what they'd been through before. And they were both dancers, line dancers in particular, but they loved to dance together. That was their hobby. And they asked if we could do this song for them. And they came to talk to us about it and wanted us to play this at the sports bar that we were playing at every Wednesday night, because it was a good place to just come and get a sampling of what we do. And so they wanted us to play the ceremony and then to play for the reception afterward. Anyway, I remember we played this song, and both of them were just in tears at the end of it. It was a really sweet moment, because for me it was like, yeah, I've played this song like 100 times. But for them, it was like the perfect symbol of what they'd found. And she came up to me afterwards and she said, that song just means so much to me, especially with this man, and I'm really sad because I don't have as much of my life left to give to him, but I sure am happy to be able to give what I have left over. And so anyway, it's a very nice memory for me. It's fun to make money, and it's fun to get tips and all of that, but it's always those interactions with people that have been the most special and meaningful, and the things I take with me from doing this work. You really get a chance to help mean something to somebody and create a moment for somebody, and that was a very poignant one. So anyway, this is by Anne Murray.
I'll always remember the song they were playing the first time we danced, and I knew as we swayed to the music and brother, I fell in love with you. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? I'll always remember that magic moment when I held you close to me. As we moved together, I knew forever that you're all I'll ever need. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life?
Okay. Thanks, guys. I'm going to get out of here for now. Thank you for joining me for the sort of reboot, new launch of Talkin' Piano Man. And be back every Wednesday with a new songwriter or some kind of theme where we're going to explore some of the great songs that have ever been written. And there will be a through line. And then I'll take a few requests at the end just for fun, because why not? Because that's who I am at heart. So thanks a lot, guys. And, of course, I'll be here Sunday for my normal, by request from top to bottom stream. So see everybody there. Remember, if you're not having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong. Check out my daily blog about songs, and that's over at pianomanapproach.com. And remember to give as much love as you can to as many people as you can, as often as you can. Leave it all on the field, folks. Don't let yourself have any regrets, because none of us knows when the ride comes to an end. Okay, take care, everyone. I'll see you next week.